Okay, let's try this again. Hey, happy Friday. This is Kylan here. I previously recorded this. Unfortunately, my phone is running out of space, and so the whole thing ended up getting scrapped. It just was dropping frames like crazy. Anyways, today was supposed to be a scheduled segment for like video, or not video, of course the video. It was supposed to be like video game news, that sort of thing. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do recording. I have this webcam. It's right there. It says 720p on it. I got it for $5 at a thrift shop. I guess I should do more research first. It's not terrible. It does take a fairly clear image, good light. But unfortunately, especially when you're moving a lot of motion blur. It's not on this. This is actually my phone. It's a Galaxy S3. Depending on the audio quality here, it sounded pretty good. But I think I may stick with this for more of a vlogging webcam kind of a thing. Basically though, I've been working all week on getting the channel up and getting logos done and Facebook pages and stuff, and I'll have down below in the description links to Facebook page as well as Twitter, and I might include the Google Plus page. I'll be updating it. Does anybody use Google Plus? Any of you? I don't think so. It's a great way. I can kind of update you guys when a new video comes up, so you don't have to kind of follow YouTube. It's a great way to keep video-related stuff out of my standard Facebook feed, because I know some people are probably getting a little tired of it. As well as anytime I'm live streaming on like Twitch TV, for example, it's an easy way to be able to update people to kind of join in and come hang out while I'm playing games, that sort of thing. So links will be in the description. Be sure to like me or follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, and get your updates there. I'm not going to be updating my Facebook page for any friends or family up there. Excuse me. Basically, though, as I was saying, I was working all week on the pages and stuff. I haven't really been following video game news, so I'm a little behind the times. The one thing I wanted to talk about, it would have been into January, so a little bit outside a week, but something that's been really interesting to me is the THQ bankruptcy proceedings. I know end of January, they actually recently did some updates on kind of where the auctions and that sort of thing were going. Sorry about moving around. It's a little bit tiring on the arm to hold that out like that. But I know that kind of the couple more important things to me were Ubisoft acquired actually South Park: The Stick of Truth, which was something that was shaping up to, in the very least, be interesting. I know it was scheduled for release at the beginning of March. Knowing Ubisoft, they like to put the Uplay stuff in there. There's a good chance it might get delayed. I know the dates I saw on it were calendar 2013, I think were the wording. So it's probably going to be at least a couple more months. They're probably going to try to fit in Uplay branding and integration and stuff. I'm not a big fan, but who knows. But anyways, they also actually acquired THQ Montreal, which was, I'm not sure what they were doing now. I kind of looked it up. Not too hard. I didn't know that I heard of. But they were actually headed by the former creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. He worked on the first game and the second game. I think he was working on Brotherhood. It was uncredited, but I know he did a lot of the producing credits, that sort of thing on there. So he hasn't made any word on whether he'll be returning to Ubisoft. He left in the first place because of a couple disputes, but part of that acquisition might have been kind of related to that. Another big purchase was Relic Entertainment, which was actually, they had the Dawn of War series, including the Dawn of War 1 and 2, as well as Space Marine, which was the recent third-person shooter that came out. They also did Homeworld, which was an old, like a RTS kind of series. I don't know if anybody remembers it. As well as Company Heroes, which was like a world RTS, a World War kind of RTS. And they were big on the RTS market. They were actually acquired by Sega, and Sega actually is a publisher for the Total War games. Hopefully that will turn out well. Sega's been a pretty big supporter of the PC market and real-time strategy in general. So hopefully that will mean good things for that series. As well as Homeworld, which hasn't seen anything in a really long time. It would be nice to see maybe a resurgence on that. And the most surprising to me was Koch Media, which was actually the parent company of Deep Silver, who did Dead Island, I guess published, you should say. They didn't actually develop, I don't believe. As well as Risen, Sacred, the old Space Sim Series X. They produced all those. They actually purchased Volition, who did the Saints Row series, and I was surprised to see, I guess not a tiny company, but a relatively small publisher actually picked those up. I was expecting, especially Saints Row, as big as the third one was, that would be picked up by EA or Activision. I really expected a lot more interest. From what I saw, I don't think there were any other bids really apart from Koch Media. And they also ended up picking up the Metro series, which included Metro 2033, as well as the upcoming Metro Last Light. I think is set for release this year. Oh, hi. My doggy didn't want to sit on the floor anymore, so he's been up on my lap. But it'll be interesting to see that. It's a publisher that's done solid, if not remarkable things. I mean, Dead Island was a good game. It did some good things. Riptide looks like it's going to be pretty good. And, I mean, they all kind of have their niche, so it's something to look forward to. But, yeah, those are kind of the most noteworthy. Sadly, I didn't see anything. I gotta pull back up, but I didn't see, there were a couple of properties that got dropped. The Blob was one. It wasn't a super remarkable game, but it was a pretty fun little title, as well as Darksiders, as well as their developer, Vigil Games, weren't picked up. I don't think they had any bids at all. I know Platinum Games had expressed interest in purchasing the Darksiders license, which would be really cool considering the kind of games that Platinum Games typically puts out. I think it would be a nice mesh to have that kind of fast-paced styling on there, but it's unfortunately something that I haven't heard any word on. I tried to look up more to see if that was possibly something they were trying to work out after the fact, but I haven't seen any word on that. So, I mean, Darksiders 2, it didn't kind of meet the expectations I think that they had for it, but I mean, I've heard from a lot of people who like that kind of game that it was really good. I didn't play personally myself, but it is still unfortunate. Along with that, of course, there were a lot of properties that weren't picked up, a lot of development houses who didn't make the cut. Didn't get purchased by anybody. And unfortunately, we're probably going to be looking at those studios being closed. So it's a lot of layoffs. So definitely, thoughts with those families. I know Vigil Games, I think they were picked up by Ubisoft. Don't quote me on that. You might have to look that up. But I know a lot of their staff did end up going over and forming a new team. So luckily, I mean, they're a pretty talented team. But definitely let me know your thoughts and comments in either the comments below, or if you find me on Facebook or Twitter, which the links will be in the description as well. You can always communicate with me there as well. But I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys think. Any kind of specific disappointments, excitements over somebody getting a property that you like. Definitely leave it in the comments. And like I said, be sure to follow Facebook, Twitter for up-to-date updates. And that way you can follow me, find out when I'm streaming, that sort of thing, which I'm going to be doing more kind of coming up. And also be sure, I like to be really transparent about this kind of thing. I hate asking for likes and favorites and that sort of thing, but just so you guys know, if you do that, any kind of likes, favorites, subscriptions, it kind of factors into the search algorithm on YouTube. So that will actually increase my chances of getting seen either on search results or recommended videos on the side. So if you guys could do that for me, at least a like. I'm not asking you to favor anything. I know people like to keep their list clean, but it really helps me out. So if you like what you see, be sure to either leave a comment, do whatever you can for me. But apart from that, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and you guys have a happy Friday.